Welcome to your doom.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Within the next 24 hours, I get 10 more calls, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. If I were that guy, I would also upload that asshole's number.
Yeah. If you can.
You know. And so, do you know what happened? And this is legitimately a first for me. I said, hello. And then he's like, he said his name was Alex. And I said, hi, Alex. I go, you've actually called a business line right now. He goes, well, I'm very sorry.
He bailed right away.
He apologized.
Yeah.
He apologized to me. And I'm like, oh, my God.
You found the cheat code. I'm going to use that, too.
Dude, I'm like, I'm just going to be really nice to him. Because he gets
They won't know what to do. That's true.
Like, because that guy, I've sat there, I started thinking, I was like, he has literally gotten every single call. He's like, is this going to be the one that fucking tips the scales and makes me want to kill myself? You know, and then someone's actually like nice and like, oh, no, thank you, though. And they're like, a breath of fresh air, let me help you.
Actually, I want to elaborate on this, but I want to say welcome to Non-Essentials Podcast. Okay. We're on episode 129, and we got to do, my name's Jake, talks to telemarketers as well, Bussy.
Oh, I'm Adam Moist Riley.
Moist, huh?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a moment. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say, like, for one thing, I know my son heard this somewhere, but he blindsided me with it one day because everybody gets robocalls. And so I'm like, it's spam. He goes, let me answer it. So I let him answer it. And he just goes, Bob's Orphanage, you make him, we take him. Which I know he didn't think of that, but I love that he was clever enough to do it. But I actually got a call today just from a robot that was it was Siri's voice. It was like, hello, you know, it was the voice we're going to hear before we die. It was that voice, but it was like, and then it was like, it put a name of like, it was like Diane Wheelstein or whatever. I don't think she was a Jewish robot, but it was weird to like, you'd have a better chance saying you're a robot. I'd be like, at least this robot's not fucking with me.
Yeah, I'll listen to that. Yeah.
But no, I think that's clever to like.
I'm just going to kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you ready to hear about Moist?
Yep, always. Sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay, so I think I truly think it's funny how much people like loathe the word moist. Like, I mean, you will see people go, ooh, right?
A former co-host of this that we've had on before cannot stand being around the word.
Oh, Renee?
Zach as well.
Oh, Zach? Oh, Zach can't handle moist?
Zach used to be very sensitive to words.
Oh,
I mean, he's gotten much better. But
Zach couldn't handle the word gaping. I remember he was actually getting ready to bowl one time, and I convinced the manager of the bowling alley to say gaping over the intercom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
As he was throwing his ball. Anyway, Kraft, like
the cheese company?
Cheese and, food services and whatnot.
Sure.
Kraft is capitalizing on the hatred and making headlines, the hatred of the word moist.
Okay.
Right, because obviously, you've got all, like if you want food, you want it to be moist, right?
Of course.
Of course, but it just makes
cake.
people want it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, but they are hoping that to make the word moist, the word of the year in 2023, to the point where they even went to the Webster Dictionary headquarters and they dropped off a 6-foot replica of their mayonnaise container, right?
Okay.
And they're desperately trying to make moist be the, because every year obviously they do the word of the year.
Sure.
Right? Webster does.
Yeah.
But Kraft declared that drop off was truly the moistest delivery the world has ever seen.
I mean, for what it's worth, it's things that are viral like that just catch traction.
I think that's what they're doing right now. But I got to be honest, I mean, obviously we're talking about it right now, but I'm just kind of curious, like how many female listeners we've lost so far in the last like 40 seconds. Like, I mean, is it most of them? Okay.
Yeah, they're walking
you out. Yeah. Are any hanging by a thread? What if Kraft were to say that they're moister than an oyster?
That might lose me too. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of a big cheesy oyster.
Is that the final straw of the dwindling?
Yeah. Actually, I do have something. It's funny you say like word of the year because I have a very strange bird of the year I came across. This is a couple
bird of the year. Bird is the word I thought.
Bird a couple of years back, and I wanted to point out this thing is called it's Kereru, the Kereru.
Wait, say it again.
Kereru, Kereru.
Okay.
Also known as it's known as a wood pigeon.
Okay.
Or basically, this is a drunk pigeon from New Zealand.
Hell yeah.
But basically,
wait, why is it drunk?
So it eats fermented berries, and if you wanted to have a good time, like I did, fall down the rabbit hole of YouTube, just looking up drunk New Zealand bird, and you'll get treated to basically.
Don't they call like girls birds down there?
Maybe that's what the origins of this. But I thought it was very funny. But like, if take a minute, go to YouTube, look up the Karuru, and watch a bird eat a bunch of berries.
Stop and Google,
and then basically brace itself by grabbing the ground with its wings over and over and over again, and people helping this bird
just try to walk a line.
Yeah,
and say the alphabet backwards.
So, and actually, I wanted to say I don't know how to turn all these notifications off, but I keep apparently I'm going viral right now, and it's popping up all over the place because I'll have to put it on for the YouTube listeners.
There's got to be penicillin for that.
Right. I'll put it on for the YouTube listeners. Sorry, my voice keeps cracking here. Going through puberty.
Balls dropping.
Yeah. So one of my favorite drawing programs came out with an animation program, and it had a preloaded thing of a pretty cool thing on a whale. So I spent 30 minutes just drawing a penis on it through the animation, and I uploaded it to Instagram. And in 3 days, it's up to, I don't know, 500,000 views. And
that is, but in the very actual like definition of the term, that is a very dorky video.
It is dorkier than anything I've ever done, but it made me
laugh
so hard.
That joke is funny if you know what a whale penis sound.
Like my favorite part is if you look at the insights of it, the video is 15 seconds long. The average watch time is 18 seconds.
Maybe you could put it up for the YouTube viewers.
I will.
But I got to tell you right now, I think my favorite part of the video, because you did send it to me, is when it kind of like just drags across the water for a moment.
Yeah, it was like a hydrofoil.
Just enough. It was like, it didn't need a lot, It was like...
So I'm going to figure out how to turn off all the dings going on around me. It's very exciting. I'm like 3 days in. I haven't had my followers budge in years. And it's like I got 500 followers off drawing a whale dick for 30 minutes. The internet is that funny. I'm just like...
Oh, man.
I'm mapping it out here.
Okay, so longtime listeners will know that for probably 3.5 years we've given updates on alligator things in the news, right?
Of course.
Okay, so I've got a very interesting update, an alligator update for this episode. Now I have to say the jury is still out on this, right? Because most sources will say that this is true, but then here every once in a while they'll be like, it's not true, right? But who has been accredited with creating the word alligator?
Are you asking me?
I am asking you. And I think that I thought ahead, and I'm going to let you guess. And I've created it with the same algorithm.
Okay, sure.
All right, that we normally go with here. So new listeners, I'm going to give Jake 3 options, 2 lies and a truth.
My first guess was Sir Alligator.
Okay, so, all right. So, number 1, William Shakespeare, after not being able to find a word to rhyme with crocodile.
Okay.
Number 2, Charles Darwin coined the term in honor of his niece, Alison Gatton, after seeing the reptiles.
I like that.
Number 3, racist crocodiles wanting to differentiate themselves from their perceived inferiors.
I think I'm going to go with the second one. The second one feels right to me. The first one, strong. If it's the third one, that's right up there with my viral video.
All right, I'll read it again.
Yeah.
So, number 1, William Shakespeare, after not being able to find a word to rhyme with crocodile. Number 2, Charles Darwin coined the term in honor of his niece, Alison Gatton, after seeing the reptiles. Number 3, racist crocodiles wanting to differentiate themselves from the perceived inferiors.
I think I'm going with number 2.
Are you sure it's not 3?
I'll go with number 2.
Right. So the answer in Spanish, the lizard, is el lagarto. And Shakespeare used that to come up with to create the word alligator.
Yeah, because my stupid guess couldn't have been that close. I was sitting here like, oh shit,
el lagarto.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's pretty cool.
I thought that's kind of interesting, right? Now I will say that most, because I try to cross reference it, and most sources will give him the. I mean, Shakespeare came up with a ton of different words, and I've and any time I've kind of flubbed a word here or there, and people are like, oh, that's not a word. I'm like, Shakespeare came up with words,
Can I ask? This might be something that actually would be fun to have Renee go down a rabbit hole on. But isn't there like a conspiracy that William Shakespeare at this point might have been a collection of different individuals?
I've heard that. I've also heard that
I think it's interesting
that there was I think they call it the 7 years of darkness or something like that, to where he was like missing.
Sure.
Like he's not in the records or whatever, but and they think it might have been somebody else writing under his name and everything. So
that's what I thought too. So I don't know. Maybe Mrs. Wright look into it. Maybe it's worth
there we go.
diving into.
Something that I did think it was kind of neat. I can't remember the exact term for it, but the way he wrote is very. He didn't come up with it, but the way he wrote was popular with that time frame. But it represented like a heartbeat almost.
Okay.
So it was like a soft syllable with a hard syllable, like behold.
Oh, okay.
Like that, like dun, dun,
almost
dun,
like a
dun.
rap of a kind with like rhythmic.
Maybe, but
rules.
you might be getting too much into what is that? The Leonardo DiCaprio. But
I like that one. That was good.
So anyway, but no. With that being said, like I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, so I don't want to say. But did you want to remind listeners how to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
Well, from my recollection,
no, I do have to say now. A lot of people will think it's a snout shape.
Yeah.
But
an alligator, I've heard that you're gonna see later, and a crocodile you'll see in a little while.
Yeah.
That's apparently, that's like the telltale sign of what's going on.
One
there.
you see later, the other one after a while.
You know who we're not gonna see later?
Probably a few things.
Henry Kissinger.
Oh, he did pass away.
Yeah, I want to say.
Man, okay, there's your 90s Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
We always talk like,
well, I saw.
No one must know I dropped my glasses.
That's the thing is like when it was like Henry Kissinger passed away, I'm just like, first of all, he was alive.
Yeah, thank you.
That was my
I
second.
was drinking. I didn't get a chance to say that.
Yeah, I think the headline should have been, of course, Henry Kissinger passed away. But I looked it up. He was 100.
Was he really?
He was 100 years old, and. That's the thing is my Henry Kissinger reference was exactly that. I was like, dude, he was being made fun of by the first few seasons of The Simpsons
in the early 90s.
when the animation was bad. That's how
do you
long
remember?
ago.
He's like, no one must, right?
Yeah,
with the glasses and the toilet.
So like I did look him up because I was just like, what did Henry Kissinger do? Why? Like what's weird is it's definitely a name I know, but apparently he was the Secretary of State under Nixon and Ford. Foreign policy during the Cold War and normalization of the relationship between the U.S. and China. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1973 for the ceasefire in Vietnam. But there was a weird thing that started circling, and apparently Anthony Bourdain, there's a video, I looked it up, the video clip of Anthony Bourdain basically proclaiming his utter hatred for him.
Really?
And he didn't go into detail, but he alluded
That's
to,
weird.
Yeah, he alluded to, it's like, I've traveled in the world, I've seen the work that Henry Kissinger did. So...
I mean, that's a weird thing to...
It was a weird thing to, like, dig up.
Huh.
So,
all right.
Henry Kissinger, you made 100. Like, I even saw someone that said, like, sadly, Henry Kissinger passed away. And I would like to say, mercifully, Henry Kissinger passed away.
Thank God.
100 years old. Like, let the guy... This is like when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. And everybody's like, oh, my God. She was 86 or whatever it was. That's old as shit. Has anyone seen Tim Curry lately?
86.
Yeah. Have you seen Tim Curry? From a Rocky Horror Picture Show, he looks like an old candle.
Yeah. I mean, he does look like he's melting, but I think he also has like MS or something.
Yeah, he has a bad stroke, and it was just, it's one of these, like, I don't understand the disillusion of these elderly people, like, living forever. Like,
well, no, actually,
I think it's incredible he was still alive.
I can't remember his, he was a philosopher, but I think his name started with a V. But he's like, basically everyone's weeping around him or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you think I was going to live forever? Like, quit your crying.
Well, I hope it was a Voltaire quote or something.
I think it was Voltaire.
Was it?
I think it was Voltaire, actually.
Wasn't the ending of Green Mile where the guy couldn't die and that was horrible? Like,
or maybe
let him go.
Voltaire was like, they asked Voltaire if he wanted to repent, and he said, no need to start making enemies now or something like that.
Yeah. He's always...
I can't remember who the other one was. Okay, so now I do want to say this. We have spent the last few earlier episodes of this year like just fawning over Last of Us.
Yeah.
Do you remember Last of Us?
Good show.
Okay. Now, new listeners, if you are, I guess, living under a rock, Last of Us was a great series that was on Amazon, right?
HBO, I think.
HBO, okay. So it was on HBO and is derived from a video game. It's a fantastic video game and even better, in my opinion.
One of the most brutal games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you're a teenage girl just decimating people.
Yeah. But with that being said, Amazon Prime has another video that is turned into a TV series that's coming down the pipe, and I'm very excited. You already know what I'm going to say.
I saw the screenshots from it.
Okay,
and I was excited.
So they are producing Fallout, which is the post-apocalyptic video game about the aftermath of a nuclear war. And I love Fallout. I played all the Fallouts. I liked Fallout so much that I truly bought an Xbox One just so I could play the Fallout. Like I bought the combo pack or whatever.
No, it's
the
great.
Bundle, rather.
I'm looking forward to it. And actually, if you go to Amazon.com / Fallout / Non-Essentials podcast. There won't be anything there. But like for a second there,
just naked
I
pictures
really
of
hope
me.
you were like, holy shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No,
You're
that's
right.
best center, right?
It's one of those, like, unfortunately, it's only like a couple screenshots so far, but from the looks of it, looks like the right
I got to be honest with you.
tone.
When you were saying the whole, like, I was like, did we do something?
Nah, I didn't know.
Like, that's great. So you got me. So anyway, so they brought in the same guy, the same creator as Westworld.
Oh, okay. So that
You
should
know,
be, yeah.
and thank you. And I'm almost certain that we've like gushed about Westworld in the past on this podcast as well, because it's a great series.
Yeah.
But now I've only and as Jake mentioned a moment ago, I've only seen a couple still shots from Fallout coming out. But man, like the power armor, the ghouls, like everything just looks like top notch. Like looks amazing. And I guess the series is going to follow a girl named Lucy, who's this, they described her as doe-eyed, right?
Sure.
She emerges from the vault. And I think it's really interesting, they have a big quote here, but I kind of try to sum it up. It says, Lucy is charming and plucky and strong. And then you see she's confronted with the reality that she's had luxury virtues. You have your point of view because you've never ran out of food, right? You guys were able to share everything because you've always had enough to share. So I think she's kind of getting this like stark reality of like how things actually are outside of the vault.
Okay,
right?
sure.
But I guess they're even going to do like, Vault Boy. Maybe do animation of Vault Boy. From the Pip.
The thumbs up kid.
Yeah. So they're even going to do like a backstory on that mascot as well. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with it. But I have to say, and I think the game's been out long enough that this isn't like spoiler alert. But can we talk about how? Do you remember when the president of the United States was just an AI robot?
Yeah, that's close. That's next.
Like I was gonna say, like that's probably our future.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm certain that the speech is already written, at least partly by ChatGPT nowadays. So
I'm trying to find a way to hook that up to Biden right now. Like I had a great idea for Biden, like because SNL is not political anymore, but I thought this would be my SNL Biden joke. I would just have a guy dressed as Biden that would just wander around the audience and occasionally get in front of the camera. He would never say anything, no speeches, just like, oh.
We were talking about Shane Gillis's stand-up Beautiful Dogs.
Yeah.
Like an episode or two back, and how great it is. I'd love to recommend it again. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. But man, when Shane Gillis goes, have you ever noticed that after a speech, Biden just transforms into a Roomba?
That's exactly what he does.
And he just starts moving
shuffles off. No, for the life of me, I can't understand why. Let's go into it. But like with Kamala Harris, to where it's just like I bet she's calling him 5 minutes after his bedtime every night. Just putting like a little salt in the food, and every time she does, just puts a marble in a jar. It's like I'm this much closer to being the commander in chief, because it's like he looks like kindling at this point to me.
No, it's real bad. Now I do want to say, actually, speaking of AI.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we haven't done an update on AI in a few episodes here, but did you see that the newest job title for an AI platform has been hired? What it's been hired on to do?
No.
Okay, so a company called Mika, or they created Mika, Mika, but it's the first hireable humanoid robot powered by AI to run as a CEO.
How will that get blown by the secretary?
Man, well, I mean, you can blow a fuse.
Sorry to take your joke. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good news, I guess.
Yeah.
But CEOs
actually,
say,
Mika is a female, so like she's a boss bitch.
That's fine. I
want to see a robot
meant
close.
that the whole time.
Yeah. So anyway, but I find myself like I don't know. I'm because obviously AI is taking over.
Yeah, it's
right.
coming.
AI is taking over, and
I've started being nice to it. Like
okay, so I literally have it in my notes. I said I find myself saying please when asking ChatGPT to help me with something.
Dude, I'm gonna be a good pet. Yeah. Like I just dogs get to ride in the car.
You wrecking my thing because it's okay, because I said it's a little out of habit and also a little proof. I'm also future proofing my inevitable slave position when they take over.
Dude, I'm gonna be a pug. They're gonna breed me. It's gonna be great.
Oh man, they're gonna snip my balls.
Yeah, they're gonna take me in the ship. You wolves are gonna be on the land.
Yeah. Anyway,
fallouts.
What else you got?
All right, so I wanted to bring this up. I know you're a big sports guy. It's your favorite thing to talk about. Adam loves sports. Like I love watching his face whenever I bring sports up. But did you see a recent baseball performance, which is one for the ages? Do you know the name Ichiro Suzuki?
No, but it sounds like something like it should have an engine size after that.
Right. So what it is?
I got an Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah.
Suzuki 900.
Right.
Really?
So Ichiro Suzuki is one of the all-time best MLB players. 19-year veteran, mostly for the Seattle Mariners. Let's see here. He was a lifetime 311 hitter, 509 stolen bases, 10 Golden Gloves, 10 All-Stars. He's every bit one of the best players of all time.
Sure.
And he absolutely took it to the house on a Japanese girls' high school baseball team where he pitched a complete game shutout, and he didn't take his foot off the fucking gas once.
Wait, what?
So he's 50 years old now. And the thing is...
He just smoked a bunch of
he
kids?
fucking shut up. But the thing is, it's like Japan loves baseball more than America. And actually...
but they also love respect.
They do. And actually, I do think this was an act of respect where people are like, what's Ichiro doing? He's like, he's treating them as equals. He's going as hard as he can. He's 50 years old. He topped out at 86 miles per hour. He pitched, I think it was...
I'm sorry. Really quick. What is average?
86 miles per hour is an average fastball in the 90s of the MLB. That's a very hard pitch to hit. I'd say average pitch in a high school, 70s, 80s, stuff like that.
Okay, so still like higher.
Yeah. 86 is... 86 is hard to hit.
Okay, sure.
And the thing is, so he pitched a nine inning shutout, 9 Ks, 116 pitches. In the major leagues right now, they rarely let you go over 100 pitches to conserve your arm. And he did not take his foot off the pedal and shut this high school girls baseball team out. He was getting a lot of flack on this online, but I actually think it's respect.
It's yeah, go ahead.
So I want to tip my cap to one of the best, still being the best, where he can be the best. Ichiro Suzuki, still shutting him down all around the world.
Man, is it bad that if I were to try to pitch against Japanese high school girls, for one, I would be surprised if I was able to make it to the catcher.
Sure.
But then 2, it would even register on a speedometer.
Sure.
And then 3, I'd be surprised if they didn't hit it.
Right.
I would be a great batting machine. You know?
Well, no, I love pitching to kids all day. I don't like striking them out and rubbing their nose in it like this guy did. But I will say in Japan, baseball is taken very seriously. Actually, one of the best players in the world, right? Babe Ruth, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So there's been someone that's pretty much usurped his legacy. It's Shohei Ohtani. He's a modern day. He's been playing for the Angels. He is the best pitcher and arguably the best hitter in the game at the same time, which is that's like someone being the best quarterback and the best fucking nose tackle in the NFL. And one of the cool things I did hear about him is I think he just recently bought every high school kid in Japan a glove and basically said, so this, I guess my tip of the cap, he said, I hope someday I'll play against a kid that learned on that glove.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's it's one of those, I love that Japan loves baseball as much as we do. And I'm also a Cubs fan. I mean, and rumor on the streets, we're going to get Shohei Ohtani, which isn't, he's going to garner $1 billion contract, which sounds crazy. But then my buddy was talking about, Japan loves baseball so much, the Cubs would instantly turn around in sales, selling $1 billion worth of merchandise and stuff like that. So baseball's big business over there. End of rant. So how'd you like that little sports trip?
So now we will talk about awful things that we find at Urban Dictionary all the time, right?
Yeah, like my last name.
Yeah. So for new listeners, Jake Bussey's last name, his last name Bussey, literally on Urban Dictionary comes out as boy pussy.
Yeah. It's going to be synonymous with whale dick soon.
So anyway, so when you're not cracking open some Bussy, I came across a very old-timey term for something that I'm going to try, and I'm going to use it as much as possible. It's actually kind of clean.
Okay.
It's a very clean thing for a dirty thing.
We started out with moist, so this is a very tactile episode.
But it's and I guess I'm coupling this onto the alligator Shakespearean concept here.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of like Shakespearean times, but night soil.
I know what night soil is.
You know what night soil is?
I remember hearing about the weird. I don't remember the exact thing, so go into the definition.
Tell me what night soil is.
Isn't night soil is basically shit?
It's
human shit or something like that. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's poop.
Yeah, or I call it after my coffee soil. It's
yeah, that's morning soil, right?
Yeah.
But no, I just love that. What a weird term. To we can't call this shit. It must be night soil.
It still grows plants.
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's like it's fantastic, and I'm gonna try to shoehorn it into every conversation.
I slipped in night soil.
Is night soil?
You got some night soil in your undies there.
I need a night soil in my pants.
Well, that is interesting. Do you want to hear about some true night soil of a person?
Sure.
Did you hear about the senior Pentagon official, Stephen Hovanek?
No.
Okay, so senior Pentagon official Stephen Hovanek, who is the official overseer of the elementary division, I believe it was on like military bases from kindergarten through 12, was recently arrested for human trafficking.
I did see this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a top Department of Defense administrator was arrested for human trafficking sting in Coweta County, Georgia. He was caught on video allegedly soliciting paid sex from an undercover agent. Hovanek was heard negotiating a transaction, handed cash to an agent, and was subsequently arrested by police. He faces charges for misdemeanor solicitation of sex. Part of the series of arrests resulted from 2-day human trafficking sting. And the thing is, it's one of those like, how the fuck are you in
Isn't that
charge?
From Star Wars, isn't that you become the very thing you were sworn to protect us from?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. To where it's just like, oh man, dude, it's I can't think of a better metaphor than getting caught human trafficking when you're in charge of like a youth
human trafficking.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyways, like in recent piece of shit night soil news, Stephen Hovanek is a piece of night soil.
Yeah, he is a piece of night soil. Okay, so earlier I had mentioned that I was talking about AI stuff, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm going to do a little bit of a PSA, and this is truly something like off the cuff because I just saw this earlier today. Full disclosure, I already mentioned the Jake before we even started recording, but I saw that a person I know posted on their Facebook that their boyfriend this happened to. So this isn't like an urban legend.
Okay.
Right? But tonight I saw that somebody posted that their boyfriend's grandma was scammed out of $9,500 like 2 days ago, right? Whoever did it ran the guy's voice. We'll just call him Jack, right?
Sure.
So whoever did it...
whale dick notification. Sorry about that.
I'm
trying to turn them off. Okay.
So anyway, so they ran Jack's voice through an AI generator.
Sure.
And they literally called his grandma and then convinced grandma that Jack was incarcerated and needed bail money, and grandma had to like emergency go and get cash and give it to the courier that would be arriving at her house.
So like Jack ripped off his grandma.
Those
damn AIs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, and what you're doing is, I mean, we're kind of laughing like, sounds kind of like he's like, yeah, AI did that. That wasn't me, grandma.
Yeah.
But honestly,
that's terrifying.
The reason why I say this because like I think this is like the cusp of things that will be happening soon. I coincidentally just told my mom probably in the last like couple weeks. I was like, listen, on the off chance I were to ever ask you for money, we need like some sort of like
systems.
Past challenge. Like you ask me questions that only I would know.
No, it's a good thing to go back
size
to.
Of Jake's dick, things like that. Things that only I would know.
That implies your mom would know it too, though.
She knows. I tell her everything. So anyway, but like with that being said, like on a serious note, I feel like you should have this talk with your parents and grandparents.
Sure, about like AI is going to encroach on like we joked about earlier to where I'm going to start being nice to the AI, but I do think the only thing that's capable of protecting us from that type of AI in the future will be AI. It'll be an AI on your phone that'll be basically your therapist. It'll be like, hey, by the way, were you incarcerated last night?
Yeah.
Did you really need $9,500 from your grandma? Like, it's the only possible solution because every 6 months this does get more like impressive.
I mean, they did, and she even put this. The person that we know, she even put it in her update or whatever that they had called the police, and the police said this is the third time it's happened today.
Yeah.
So this is a tidal wave, a tsunami of things coming towards us right now, and we need to be like prepared for it, right?
Well, and that's the thing is like every time a new technology comes up, you basically need new laws for that technology. You need new ways of enforcing it, and it's going to be interesting to see like how you counteract these because it's going to be a new problem every basic week. Like there's a few AI things. I'm mostly in like the art side of it. Like I've been impressed by it. Like I've talked about it enough. But and it's always so interesting to see people making fun of, like for a while they can't do hands. 6 months later the update came out and they could do hands.
Yeah.
And now
Better
it's
than
like
you.
they have things like text to video, text to animation. You can basically describe the 3D object that you want designed in like a Blender and stuff like that, and then use it as an asset into game creation, where more and more
you could put a giant pink penis on a whale.
That's the thing. It's to where like
which Jake has done. Please put your new like viral video up right here. Like,
what's a terrifying
thing? He's
thing?
gonna put it up here.
It's like if you
I'm asking him to do it here.
If you were to add up every bit of visibility that we've ever had from this, 129 episodes worth of effort, toil, sweat, blood.
Should just add a whale dicks.
Yeah, that's everything. The thing. This thing went past it in hours. This dork flew right past every bit of effort over the last 3 years. And that's why the internet is so beautiful. It's because it can absolutely just make something you've actually put effort into utterly meaningless. And the thing that you're kind of just joking around with your buddies.
Well, I mean, it reminds me, because we're talking about grandmas and this and that, but I remember, like, my grandma's dying words were dick and fart jokes where the money's at.
Yeah.
So I was like, Grandma.
Your grandma was hilarious.
Yeah, she was great. She didn't really say that, but like, let's pretend that she did. Speaking of which, now we did mention a few moments ago about how Shakespeare would invent words, right? Now, I like to test Jake's hipness as far as like how well he's able to, because how many children do you have?
Too many.
And their ages?
I don't know. 12 and 10.
And which means they're very cool, very hip.
Yeah, they're
cooler than Jake.
Already outpacing me.
Exactly, which means that I'm helping Jake connect with his children.
I appreciate it.
So then the word we're going to test Jake on is skirt.
Skirt?
S-K-R-T.
Skirt. Okay.
All right, so we're going to follow the same algorithm here.
Sure.
2 lies and a truth. You have to figure out which one is the real definition.
Okay, let's do it.
Right. Number 1. Mimics a tire screech to a halt, verbally telling someone to hold up.
I mean, that's what I thought it was. There's another one I have too. Okay, go.
Number 2. An acronym for sudden catch-up, respawn target, used in RPG games, generally yelled after a headshot.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's really good radio. Thank you. Jake has the cat in his lap right now. So
the cat got in my lap. That's
All right. So number 3, used in Jubilee to describe the particular food someone's eating in a very tasty way.
Okay. The definition I thought actually wasn't in there. It's skirt is like you sometimes skirt the rules. You get around something. What do you
have
think?
A critic right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna get this cat out of here. Yeah. Okay. So what was the last one? It was Jubilee.
Used in Jubilee to describe the particular food someone is eating.
Okay.
Like it's very tasty. Like you take a bite and you're like, skirt. Or
I think I'm gonna go.
Someone's telling a story and you're like, skirt. Or you're playing video games and you headshot somebody, you're like, skirt.
That's the one I was gonna kind of go for. It was a noise being made by 12-year-olds when they kill something.
Okay.
Skirt.
All right. So I'm gonna read them again.
Sure.
Number 1, mimics a tire screech to a halt, verbally telling someone to hold up. Number 2, acronym for sudden catch-up, respawn target, used in RPG games, generally yelled after a headshot. Number 3, used in Jubilee to describe the particular food someone's eating, and that it's very tasty.
What is Jubilee?
Excitement, I would assume.
Oh, okay, like jubilation.
Yeah.
In Jubilee. Okay, sure. I'm gonna go with number 2. I think it's the video game term for a headshot.
Just so you know, like fact checker Tony isn't here tonight.
Sure.
But he is screaming right now the fact that you said, "What's Jubilee?" Isn't that like a Marvel character?
It's the fireworks.
The fireworks
yeah,
chick.
Yeah,
like
that was the one left out of the movies.
The most useless one.
Yeah, like what are you, sparkle fingers?
Yeah. So anyway, you ready for the real answer?
Yeah.
It is number 1. It mimics a tire screech to a halt, verbally telling someone to stop. Right?
Okay.
So if you're like, oh, so guess what? So-and-so's pregnant. I'm like, skirt. Who's pregnant?
So actually, I actually do use that term. If I were to like,
do you?
Yeah, like
let me hear you do.
I thought it was like Calvin Hobbes.
Oh no, you're dabbing.
Yeah, we got a dab in the audience.
Dabber in the audience.
Okay, so skirt. It actually means to come to an abrupt halt.
Yes.
Okay, I'm using this one correctly.
Okay, I want you to know that I'm really glad that you fell for what I came up with, because I was like, all right, what are some video game terms here?
Yeah, stupid.
All right, respawn.
Yeah. Spawn kill.
Yeah.
I want to go in something like we talked about it briefly earlier, but and again, I'm going right back to sports because I know Adam is the biggest sports guy ever. But this one,
huge. No one's better.
One's a bigger. There was an article that came out from Deadspin that was claiming that basically looked like a 9-year-old kid was like racist. And from what it's worth, I came at it from the Deadspin article to where I was just like, oh shit. And basically, it was a picture of kids like this kid was in blackface in an NFL game, and I'm like, first of all, hell of a place to go in blackface if you're but this is like a 9-year-old kid, and this is honestly the perfect definition of the problem with the news. This is a Deadspin article, and what was happening was the kid he was a Chiefs fan. Half of his face was painted black, the other part of his face was painted red, and he had a Native American headdress on. And it's one of those, like, I get if you're coming at it from like a Native American insensitivity point of view, but he was coming at it from a blackface point of view. But he literally took a picture from the broadcast of the NFL, and the kid was doing the tomahawk chop motion. And here's the other thing: the rest of the fucking audience was doing it too, including the goddamn chief players.
That's what they do, don't they? Do the
the chief players were doing it. And in the middle of that, this fucking piece of shit from Deadspin took a picture of the side of the kid's face and said he went to blackface in an NFL game to try to basically stir up controversy. And
just
this is
so you know, that guy was the guy who took that picture was hunting somebody.
Yeah, this is the best example of
a 9.
Well, he was a kid. You know, this is a person with a job that cannot generate real news that is like, oh my God, I need to desperately get clicks. And so he desperately just finds a way to create controversy out of nothing and potentially attempts to destroy a kid's life because the internet's dumb enough to actually believe that this kid was being like racist. And I will say, I did follow up on it.
I think when you're 9, you don't really understand what racism is.
No, of course not. You're literally a fan. Even like him dressing up in a headdress, it's one of those like, but his mom did chime in and said the thing that you don't want to say, to where it's like, he is Native American, his grandfather's Native American, because she did like a 23andMe or something, and that's besides the point. She was just being a good mom. She's trying to like just stamp it out. But I want to focus in on the fact that the Deadspin article guy is the biggest piece of shit in this story.
Fuck that guy.
He literally is. What's that thing where it's like the media zooms in, crops out everything that's relevant to the story as long as it centers in on the point they want to make.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's editing, or if it bleeds, it leads kind of concept. Yeah.
So this is in our small reach, and I know that's not great, but for what it's worth, the people that listen to you, we do care about you and love you. Like and subscribe, really appreciate it. But if you are getting anything from Deadspin, let's take a stance here and stop, because that's obnoxious that person wrote that shit. That editor was sent that article and was like, looks good, let's get some fucking clips off controversy and bullshit that just stirs up people's anger.
Well, I mean, it's like Kraft going with mayo. Or Kraft mayo going with moist, rather.
Sure.
All right. So
end of rant. But
no, it's okay. So now, a few moments ago, obviously we were testing Jake's hipness as far as how well he was with, like cool guy terms.
Extremely hip.
Right? Yeah, he's very.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah. So anyway, you have 2 hips.
Yeah.
That was really fucking dumb.
Yeah.
All right. So I think it's great that you're trying to learn the lingo to connect to the children. And I feel like that's a proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Would you like to hear about an improper way that I stumbled across recently?
Of course I would.
All right. So now I'm sure Jake has, much like myself, has a pornographic memory.
Yeah. You hit it right on the head. Yeah,
so
that's exactly right.
And Jake, honestly, I don't want you to incriminate yourself by verbally responding, but continue breathing if you've ever heard the name Sunny Lane for an actress's name.
For what it's worth, it doesn't come to mind.
Really?
Yeah, okay. It's one of. I'm not over here like, who's Sunny Lane? I'm like, I know porn stars, and it's just not top of the bill.
Sunny Lane is a porn star. All right, do you know who Sunny Lane is?
The blondie one?
I usually filter by descriptions.
She knows who Sunny Lane is.
I went to porn convention in Vegas. So.
Oh.
I met Johnny since I have selfies.
All right, stay over there.
She was there too.
Do you remember that? Wait, was that that red flag? She's like, she lived in Vegas.
Yeah.
For 11 years.
Yeah. It's only male roommates.
Yeah. So anyway, now with that being said, now growing up, her parents were very supportive.
Sure.
Right, Sunny Lane's parents. She wanted to be a professional ice skater. So, like, they were decorating her costumes. They were cheering her on at the sidelines, right?
Sure, yeah.
But now that she's made her very obvious career choice, they're still very supportive. They're decorating her costumes. They're
holding
cheering at
her leg.
from the sidelines, right? And but you make that joke, but honestly, like, her parents help manage this actress and even watch and evaluate her scenes.
Yuck.
Thank you.
I'd like to take the controversial point just to have fun, but even with this one, I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
seriously, I mean, there's being a supportive parent, and then there's like, what the fuck you doing?
The only thing I could think is maybe if you're like, maybe if I'm there, she won't. You know what I mean?
You're just doing it, dude, to the point to where like literally, because I delved into it, and their parents even did a small cameo in one of her films. I mean, they didn't fuck her, but they like, like a small acting cameo.
I hate all this.
I know, to the point to where like literally her parents were like, well, they're sitting there because Sunny will walk around.
Dude, I would hate it if I was a guy actor. I'd be like,
her parents would walk. Sunny would walk around and then take off her. They literally said soiled panties in the article.
Night soil.
Night soiled panties.
Yeah.
And then they will literally put them in a little bag and then sell them online. Like it's her and her parents sitting around a kitchen table, like bagging up fucking dirty undies.
I mean, whatever. Families are whatever they are. I'm not on board with this incident.
It's super weird. I mean, you have that concept because obviously, like, sex
Wait, what was the
work-
plot? Were her parents in the plot? Like they
didn't-
walked by?
I didn't
Because
see that
if
part.
so, Daniel Day-Lewis just got out acted. This is the better method acting than I've ever seen.
I just want to say, I mean, obviously there wasn't anything like illegal there, but like it just seems like crossing the line. I guess you have your supportive
Times are
parents,
tough.
whatever. Yeah, but and I get you sit there and you justify things like sex work is work and whatever, but
Sure.
it's like so is like sex work is work, but so is like stripper. Yeah, I think prostitution should be legal. I think sex work should be legal and everything else. I don't think people should be able to tell what people should be able to do with their body.
Right.
But at the same time, I wouldn't want my mom to be a stripper.
And this is
like
the
if
thing.
my mom was like, I'm going to be a stripper, I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Like.
I will qualify this to where it's like whatever is going to make you happy and you guys are all adults.
True.
Fantastic. And you're paying the bills. Fantastic. I mean, I'm sitting here like, maybe what's worse? Maybe like a fucking Amazon shift where you got to negotiate with robots. You're working third shift. Maybe that's the same as having your dad there while you get fucked. I don't know.
I mean, it's just weird to me. It's the fact
What's the
that
difference
they were
of
even-
like your dad
they were even
orders
on
something
set.
at 3 a.m. and you have to put it in a box and send it out? How is that different?
I don't think that. When I said that they're on set, I don't think she's being like, what are you doing?
Cue the father.
Yeah.
So-
What are you doing? Actual blood parents?
Yeah.
But no, I think that they're viewing it more like a very, I guess, macro, as far as like, hey, we're acting.
Sure.
But like, I don't know.
This is that thing where it's like if everyone's happy in the equation and I'm not in it,
I'm happy I'm
great.
not in
Because
it either.
the thing is, for what it's worth, the porn profession, everyone knows it's like it's a long dark history of like women, getting the long end of the short stick, and
the schlong end.
and generally they are mistreated. So I'm sitting here like if you got a dad that's in there like she's gonna fucking do it anyways. I'm in there like managing her finances and making sure that like she's getting the beneficiary of like the royalties.
We don't want her to get fucked.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a fun thing to like dissect. And the thing is, it's like the brash part of me is like, that's stupid. They shouldn't do that. But then like if you see what their life is with her not doing it, and she's like depressed and working a life, she's on 16 pharmaceutical drugs because she hates all her jobs, and maybe like getting fucked on a set, and then her and her parents can go to Cabo and laugh it off is a good time. Great. Be a good family unit. We've really destroyed the nuclear family in the last 50 years, so let's see what the new one looks like.
Fair enough. I'd also be like, I would hate the fact of like my dad be like, listen, I don't know how to talk to you about this, but I was watching, evaluating one of your more recent films, and Have you gotten that mole checked out yet? Like,
for what it's worth, like you can care. How about this scenario where it's like the dad and the mom they're in the hotel room at night, and the dad's just like, "So you think you can do that?" Just like, from a genetic standpoint, one of us can.
yeah.
And again, I hate that. I hate all this, but I'm playing around inside of it. But
That's the problem, though.
And that's the thing is like, I don't know, like who am I to judge? And this is one of those like, as long as all parties are happy and a consenting adults, to me,
that's the biggest part.
The thing is, it's like I've been led to believe this is like a Jackson 5 kind of thing where he's going to chemically castrate the kid and keep it a moneymaker forever. But maybe it's coming from the other way where the dad is truly there, like I can't stop her from doing what she's going to do, but I'm going to protect her the best I can. I got a catfish if you're ready to go.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So again, same algorithm as before. I got 3 headlines here. One of them's true. The other 2 are fake. Are you ready? All right. Number 1. Is it a bee or, I'm sorry. Number 1. Is a bee a fish? California says it could be. Number 2. Intriguing study proposes earthworms may hold the key to time travel. Number 3. Incredible discovery. Ants found to be the masters of quantum mechanics.
I'm going to go with 3.
With 3?
I think it's 3.
All right.
I mean, number 1 is fucking weird to where I'm like, oh my God, are they? But they don't have gills or anything. Okay. All right. So, but I think I'm going to stick with number 3 because I feel like something in the back of my head is going, wah, wah, wah. It's that.
Right. I did remember.
Which means it's 2, right?
No.
Okay.
So, answer is in May, and this is from a few years ago, a California court ruled that bumblebees can legally be considered fish under California Endangered Species Act.
What?
Yeah, insects apparently aren't protected under the state's Endangered Species Act, but fish are.
What?
So environmentalist interest groups argue that bees technically fit under the Act's definition of fish, which they define as invertebrates. The public interest
This is
group,
bananas.
I know, it argued, however, that bees actually fit under
That's like saying
CESA's.
that's like saying like a fart could be considered a fish.
Right. Well, I think it's just legalese here, but it's a definition of fish: a wild fish, mollusk, crustacean, invertebrate, amphibian, or part spawn of ovum of any other animal. However, the ruling was overturned in 2020 by a Sacramento County Superior Court when 7 agricultural groups argued that invertebrates referred to only to marine invertebrates, not insects, according to CNN. So the California's 3rd District Court of Appeal overruled the decision on May 30th, ruling that bees actually do fit under the definition of a fish.
That is crazy.
And I'm sure this is all under an attempt to protect the bees. So they're getting real creative with the
yeah.
language. But I just thought it was funny that like they're like, the fish.
Yeah.
Because it's not a vertebrate animal. It's clearly a fish.
I'm kind of blown away. I got to look into it more.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for my last AI thing here?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't mean to spiral so much into it, but things kept compounding. All right, so a New Jersey student used AI recently to create fake nudes of images of his classmates.
Now it's getting fun. Okay.
In a way, I mean, he was like 14, and so were the other girls. Right.
This is the thing when you
feel
make
like,
art illegal. Like,
yep. And I feel like this is an impending threat that is heading our way. And I'm only mentioning this because it's like I feel like people need to know about it.
Yeah.
Right. So and honestly, I think that the legal system is going to like make a few heads roll just to set an example.
Yeah. This
right?
is like this is the thing with TikTok when everybody's like, look at this unaged filter where it was like knocks 10 years off your and there was like 24-year-olds are like, I'm old. So then they unage themselves with giant tits and all of a sudden they got a ton of anime fans following them.
Yeah.
Internet's weird. Whale dicks work. So
yeah. So anyway, but it made me sit there and think, and I don't. You're gonna have to like pardon my segue here.
Sure.
But do you remember a few episodes back we were talking about that company that will replicate a living person sex doll for you?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now, new listeners, I just want to say, there's a company in England that you can literally send them pictures of somebody that you want, whether it can be, like a spouse or whomever, right?
Sure.
And they will literally like mold a face,
I'm sure this started as like a grieving process thing. This is
Maybe,
it always starts there.
Fuck my wife one more time.
It starts from grief,
Yeah.
and then it expands its sales to vengeance.
So I was kind of curious. I'm curious on your opinion. Which is worse,
Okay.
Would you be more upset if someone had made naked AI art of a loved one of yours, or someone made a sex doll of a loved one of yours?
There's a clear angrier, but there's two different types of angry.
I'm going to hear it.
There's a clear angrier that like if you make something you can fuck, you're probably going to get fucked up. But like if you make nudes, that's a legal action thing that I'm probably going to go and not try to like physically hurt you. But if I came over and I'm like, what's that in your closet? And a replica of my wife went poof. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, which one's a more clear and present danger?
Well, let me ask you this.
That's a more tangible. You're getting beat with that doll.
Since you mentioned your to death.
All right, she got the ankles right. It's just like a baseball bat. A hammer toss.
So let me ask you this. So if you stumbled across, and I want to take myself out of this, but if you stumbled across somebody else's closet and they had a sex doll that resembles your wife.
Resembles is different.
Right? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, as close as humanly possible.
A lot of people find Puerto Ricans attractive.
Or you stumbled across their laptop and there was like AI art of your wife's face on naked ladies' bodies.
I mean, that's just...
Which one would you be more upset about?
That's digital images of just stuff in your head anyways. I'd be more upset about... I think there's a difference between like...
What if there's like an oozing pocket pussy next to it?
Getting more dangerous. A moist.
Moist. Thanks, craftsman.
Yeah. So it's... Listen.
Word of the year, baby.
Both of them I'm unhappy about.
Yeah. Both of them, you're not getting invited to dinner.
I'd be like, I thought it was weird to do a LiDAR scan of her. Just walking around her with an iPhone. Like, this is great.
No, like, okay, now keep in mind, like, I want to say, too, like, with like, what if they didn't share it, right? You know.
Wait, what if you didn't share it? Or?
No. What if they didn't share, like, the images or anything, right? Right? You'd be less mad.
Yeah, I'd be less mad.
But what if they did share it?
Honestly, what's weird is I'd be less mad if they did share the doll.
Well, you wrecked my joke.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to say, what if they did share it? I was going to say, like, the sex doll, like, hey, boys, I'm bringing over so-and-so in case you guys want to take a crack at her after a few drinks.
Here's the thing is, like, I feel like it'd be her that would be mad that you're sharing it, and I would be mad.
What if it was like a voodoo doll? It's where she's like, I don't know why, but my ass hurts.
I don't think you would... There's no way you wouldn't be thinking of it as a voodoo doll anyways, at least like subconsciously.
Man, don't think about it too much. Just laugh at
How am I not thinking about it too much? I know it's a joke, but like, no, I'm dialing up to like, let's say, because this feels like a movie plot to where it's like a Zach Galifianakis, like Hangover, like it's one of those, they had a 2 for buy one, get one, and I couldn't think of anyone else.
A BOGO on
so you have your mom and my wife? Well, I like to have tea parties. I don't know. So.
All right. Do you have anything else? Because this is awful.
No, that's about...
All right. So will you want to end on a catfish?
Yeah, let's end on that.
All right. So same thing that we just said a moment ago. 2 lies and a truth here. I'm going to read Jake 3 article headlines, and he has to figure out which one is the real one.
All right.
Listeners, play along. Number 1, deceptive ad tactics. Man loses family support for impersonating disability in restaurant promo.
Okay.
Number 2, luck runs out for impersonating and exploiting fake police badge for coffee perks.
Oh, that sounds real.
Number 3,
I like that one.
Man impersonates the Prime Minister of Morocco to get fully booked restaurant.
I could definitely see the Morocco thing. Isn't Morocco a very, very tiny... We got a strong 3 out there. Isn't Morocco a very, very tiny country? No. Like it's not?
It's smaller.
I thought Morocco was like smaller.
It's north.
It's a big history. It's a big...
I thought Morocco, it was smaller than like New York City or something like that.
No, it's not. I don't think it's that. But Morocco is like literally on the other side of the Strait of Gibraltar.
Sure.
It's northern Africa.
I do like that one where a guy's just pretending to be the mayor to get a seat because...
No, Prime Minister. Man impersonates the Prime Minister of Morocco.
I think I'm going to go with number 2 because that feels like something that I could really see happening where a guy was just like, coffee, you're a police officer, you get like, half off coffee or something like that.
Do you see the theme here?
Stolen valor?
Number 3, though.
So, all right. So I'll read them again.
Okay.
Number 1, deceptive ad tactics. Man loses family support for impersonating disability in restaurant promo. Number 2, luck runs out for impersonating and exploiting fake police badge for coffee perks. Number 3, man impersonates the Prime Minister of Morocco to get into fully booked restaurant.
So impersonation, the theme?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with number 2. I think it's cop one.
3?
You got 3?
Okay. Right. So this actually happened in June 2018.
Okay.
A desperate man secured a reservation in an in-demand restaurant by pretending to be the Moroccan Prime Minister. The unidentified diner was left disappointed after being told there was not enough room at the eatery for him and his family. But refusing to be beaten, he called back minutes later and claimed to be the leader of Morocco. I'm not going to be able to say the name. Sadadine Athami. Duped into believing a VIP was coming to eat at the restaurant, believed to be in Russia.
Yeah.
The staff immediately booked him. Staff was so convinced that the diner was the Prime Minister that they even asked him to sign one of their plates. So maybe Jake can put the footage.
Yeah.
Because you could see the footage.
So it worked.
It worked very well.
Then fuck this restaurant.
Yeah, so honestly, YouTube viewers, you can see, hopefully Jake put up a video, but the chef's look at this.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, okay.
Dude, this is like the girls out there. It's I fucked Matthew McConaughey, and they show a picture, and it's just a guy that looks kind of like Matthew McConaughey.
It's a guy in whiteface.
And he's like,
going,
all right.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
That's
so
great.
Thank you very much for listening to episode 129. So I tried to throw a couple more games in there. So
yeah, it was fun.
Hopefully it wasn't too much full of night soil there.
Yeah, I'm Jake Sunny Lane Bussy.
I'm Adam Dark Alley Riley.
Yeah, that'll work.
The opposite of Sunny Lane.
Later, boners.
Later, boners.
You met me at a very strange time in my life. With your feet on the air, your head on the ground. Try